What's up? We got two Fecon machines here with us on this big job. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to kind of do a like a commercial / comparison video on the two machines. Over here we got our Cat 299 with the Blackhawk mulching head, which that's a machine that we own. We've been running for the last couple years. Then over here we have the Fecon FTX 150 with the Bullhog mulching head. You put them side by side, you can really see the size difference. We're going to go through the specs on them a little bit. And then we're going to get you some footage of both of them working, kind of get you an idea on what does what and which one's better for what application. All right, we're going to go through the specs on the Cat 299 with the Blackhawk mulching head. It's been a very versatile machine for it. We purchased this one a couple years ago, and I have no regrets doing that. But to do the comparison, I want to go through the specs on this for you. This one is 6 foot 11 inches tall, 6 foot 4 inches wide, and it's weighing in at 15,300 pounds, and that's with the Blackhawk mulching head. So just over 15,000 pounds on this unit. I think it's pretty versatile to be able to pull on a tag-along trailer behind a dump truck. You could even pull it behind a pickup truck if you had a gooseneck trailer on it. Versatile not only for hauling, but also if you're doing smaller mulching jobs in residential backyards or clearing fence lines like in between houses or something. Definitely more versatile to move around and get through tight areas. The engine in this machine is the Cat C 3.8, and that's pushing 110 horsepower. It's a big skid steer, but it's not as big compared to the mulching head or the actual mulching tractor, which we'll go over that next. And then the Blackhawk mulching head is something that I think for what we do is a more versatile mulching attachment. Gives you a little bit finer of a product, a smaller chipping product that is a final product for the customer. So that's the reason we went with that, and I think that moving forward, this is definitely the better application for us and what we do most of the time. All right, the specs on the FTX 150. This is a designated mulching tractor from Fecon. It's the first project that we've had big enough to justify getting this, so we have this on a rental. And I thought, let's go through the specs on this, kind of compare it to the machine that we have in our fleet. So this machine here is standing 8 foot 7 inches tall. It's 6 foot 1 inches wide and just over 14 feet long. And then the weight on this one with that Bullhog attachment is 21,000 pounds. So about 3 tons heavier than the 299. And I think that's really the main difference as far as the specs on these is the weight of it. Definitely you need a hefty truck and trailer to pull this thing around. And it's so tall that it almost designates a lowboy to have to pull it around. And then the engine in this is it's a Cummins F3.8, 155 horsepower. So what's that, like another 45 horsepower more than the 299. Attachment on this is the Fecon Bullhog, which we're going to get you some close-up footage of that so you can see the teeth on this Bullhog as compared to the Blackhawk that we have on the 299. And I think that's a significant difference here with the number of teeth and the way that the drum is set up. Let's take a minute to go through the pros and cons of each one. The FTX, the pros of this one, obviously a much more powerful engine and higher output for the high flow hydraulics, and it just moves a lot faster through really thick brush. For these, like this job that we're on right now, it's about 30 acres, and this is definitely the machine for the job to get through those bigger saplings. It works faster taking down the larger trees and saplings. So if you just wanted to get, say, like a larger 15 to 20 inch tree on the ground to mulch it up, this is definitely the machine to do that. It's got higher reach. It takes more of a bite out for every time it spins and that tooth hits. So this is definitely the one that's the type of application you're looking. Not only that, but the tractor itself is designated just for forestry mulching. So it's got a bigger cab. It's a safer cab. Windows don't go up or down. It's got the cage on the front, the protected lights. It's got a winch on the back. I mean, the steel tracks, the whole deal. It's made just for mulching. And that really It's just a safer, faster, more efficient machine for this type of work. I mean, that's really the main thing, is it's just a faster machine for these larger projects. The pros of the 299 with the Blackhawk, it's a smaller, more compact machine. So if you're doing a lot of residential work and doing tight spaces, having to go around people's houses or through people's yards to get to the backyard, definitely a lot easier to do. It's easier to haul. You don't need as big of a truck and trailer to haul it. The actual Blackhawk mulching head itself is a lot fewer teeth than the Bullhog, so cheaper to replace them and faster to sharpen them, which that saves a lot of time in the morning when you don't have to sharpen 60 teeth compared to, I think this one has like 30, so it's like half the teeth. Rubber tracks. 299 has the rubber tracks, so you can go around driveways, around houses and stuff without having to worry about damaging asphalt, which, if that's the main application that you're doing, that's what you want. You don't want the steel tracks like on the FTX. Not only that, but it's a more universal machine for a construction business in general, because we can take this mulching head off, put a grapple bucket on it, and go do bigger tree work. Take a regular bucket, put on it, and we can load or, grade yards, put a Harley rake on it, put different attachments on it, and you can use it for various applications. The Blackhawk mulching head does leave a nicer, finer final product for the customer. So you don't get real big saplings and stuff that you got to go around and pick up. Like, this is going to, the way that this is designed with the fewer teeth and then the spines on the roller, it's going to give you a better final product. All right, we're going to talk about the FTX and the cons of it, what I don't necessarily like about it, or maybe why I wouldn't purchase one. Big and heavy, and it's harder to haul. You definitely have to have a designated truck and trailer to haul this job to job. Steel tracks make it hard to do the residential work and to get around asphalt driveways or loading and unloading the whole deal. It's going to do a little more damage to the ground wherever you're working. It's not a universal machine. Like, this is designated strictly for forestry mulching. So if you have a ton of this work, it might be the machine for you, but you can't put different attachments on this and use it for different applications. And to spend the kind of money that this thing costs, like, I like the idea that you could maybe use it as a universal machine with the 299, where this is just strictly for forestry mulching. And this Bullhog here, it's just a whole lot of teeth to replace and sharpen every day or two. Definitely is in a maintenance expense that definitely adds up. Some cons of the 299 with the Blackhawk is you're kind of limited on these real big projects on how fast you can get through them. For example, 30 acres of forestry mulching, this is going to take you probably twice as long than it would with this. So what our intention is to go through with the Bullhog on the FTX, get everything down, and then go over it with the Blackhawk and kind of fine grade it and chip it up a little bit smaller and back drag it. So, we're fortunate in this situation to have both machines here, but I wouldn't want to go through these saplings the first time with the 299. It would just take a very long time. The tracks, or the track loader, is designated for other construction work. So it's kind of just built like a standard track loader, even though it's the forestry package. So when it does this big forestry mulching, it kind of takes an ass whooping. You get a lot of debris like up in the arms and around the hydraulic cylinders and stuff. And it's just something you got to constantly be mindful of and constantly cleaning it out and trying not to mess your machine up every day. All right, so with all the specs, the pros and cons of each one, the whole deal, I'm going to let you know what works best for us and what we do. And in our environment here in Southern Maryland, I think that the 299 with the Blackhawk was the right pick for us to purchase, because we mainly do smaller residential yards and fence lines, food plots. It's smaller tracts of land, and it's like a viney vegetation, a lot of briars, mountain laurel, stuff like that. And this just gives you a final product. It's more compact unit, easier to move around, get in and out of houses and backyards, and this just works for us. It's been a lot of fun having the FTX on this big job, and I'm glad that it's available with Carter Cat here in Maryland so that we can have access to it for these bigger jobs. But to spend the kind of money on this unit just strictly as a designated mulching machine, for me, it's just a hard pill to swallow. And to have this universal 299 to do other type of work and to do smaller forestry mulch and shit in people's backyards, this is the unit for us. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's going to be links and everything else with all the social handles. Thanks for watching.